Shadow government. 500 lawyers to defend Utomi against DSS. 500 lawyers. A professor of political economy, Pat Utomi, on Friday said he's receiving support from some Nigerians who are planning to mobilize 500 lawyers to defend him against the Department of State Services. Utomi disclosed this in a post on X on Friday. It is energizing that some want to put together 500 lawyers to defend me against the DSS, he said. Wow. The DSS has sued Utomi over his alleged plans to establish what he calls a shadow government in the country. According to the suit filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja, the DSS prayed the court to declare the move an attack on the Constitution. What's an attack? Somebody wants to create shadow government to help you people, to help you do the things that you are not doing. They are saying he is trying to attack the Constitution. What is this? What is he attacking? What is he attacking? These people. The professor of political economy, who is the 2007 presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, was sued as the sole defendant. In the suit filed on May 13 by a senior advocate of Nigeria, Breakkng, the agency contended that the move by Utomi was intended to create chaos. What chaos? And destabilize the country. As how? These people, The DSS had argued that the planned shadow government was not only an aberration, but also considered a grave attack on the Constitution and a threat to the democratically elected government currently in place. However, Utomi said he was gladdened by the solidarity he had received. From across the country, I am heartened by messages of solidarity from across Nigeria on this shadowy business of chasing shadows of shadow cabinets. They remind me of the Nigeria I used to know. I want to thank all. The planned shadow cabinet was greeted by reactions from several Nigerians, including a former presidential candidate and activist, Omoyele Sowore, who said it was an ineffective symbolic gesture that lacked real-world impact on Nigeria's pressing challenges. Should be that one will even allow them to start first before he condemns. Omoyele Sowore, you are a suspect. A suspect. Speaking during an interview on Inside Sources on Channels TV on Sunday, Sowore argued that the idea of a shadow cabinet was futile in a country where the existing government is itself opaque and largely unaccountable. He said, well, how do you replace a shadow government with another set of shadowy government? I would not begrudge anybody who thinks of a solution that can bring awareness to the people, but I do not think that setting up a government with names of people who call themselves a shadow government makes any difference. At least you let them do it first before you say it doesn't make any sense or it doesn't make any difference. Christian Jerome says, here the show begins. This should be the first acid test for the judiciary. With over 500 lawyers, there will be no mago, I'm telling you. 500 lawyers, they'll be like, this one, water don't pass Gary. Charles Esero says, honestly, I love Nigeria with my whole heart. Wait, is the removal of a constitutional elected governor of a state, like the case of Siminalayi Fubara, is it a constitutional right to remove a constitutional governor that went through electoral process to be removed from office like a classroom prefect? Don't mind them. Now, what is actually Breakkng divulging? Without looking at the case study, that's not far-fetched. Nigeria, it is the way. Okuda Jazzy says, the country will bust for Tinubu head before 2027. He would not be able to campaign in the north. He must retire. Extra shadow, SUVs, rubber stamp senators, and reps, they should look at the mirror now. Then get shame. Foolish governors running for trillions looted forgiveness of sin. Now, okay. Adewale Abiodun says, stupid and jobless lawyers. Look at this one. I'm sure he's a Milocom member who doesn't have better things to do with their time. Who told you they don't have better things to do with their time? Do you know how much they will collect for the job that they want to do? Say 500 lawyers for which a year kiss in which kangaroo courts. Why can't people be reasonable for once? Are you reasonable? Adewale Abiodun, because what are you fighting? Why are you fighting? So, they did in the last general election and yet they lost. Common number of the states to be won, including SCC, they couldn't interpret the law and constitution. It is now the case of shadow government they want to shine with. Let them go and sit down somewhere, because nothing reasonable positive will come out of it. Wait now, why are you rushing? Wait and see if something reasonable will come out of it or not. You hear this, man. Achebe Ignatius says nobody is a threat to the Nigerian democracy other than the elected government now in place. A government obsessed by fears and mistrust of its own shadow, where every other person apart from the ruling region is a suspect, Abi. Nobody is a threat to them. They are the ones that are a threat to us. John Woye says, my very self shall be supporting Professor Utomi with additional 2 lawyers to bring the total number of defense lawyers to 502. Let there be freedom in Nigeria. I'm telling you. They just want to help you. You are saying that you don't want a shadow government. My problem is, why is DSS even the one putting their mouth inside the matter? Like, what's it concern now? Muda Sisi Ogunlowo says, the number of lawyers does not win a case, it is the presentation. And they will present it now. With 500 lawyers, the case has become sensational. And let it become sensational. Let it become sensational. Charles Ozabo says, it's now clear that APC under Tinubu doesn't understand what democracy is. I'm telling you. They do not understand what democracy means. This government is worse than a military regime. I'm telling you. What is wrong with having a shadowy government? Just, it wants to help people. Now, since people are too busy to do your job, let them do what you are not doing. Jubilant Enaya says, what constitution is being referenced? I wonder. Do we actually have one, or a constitution of choice and circumstance twisted, skewed and inclined to serve the purpose and desires of the elite Nigerians? Those elected to defend and uphold our constitution ended up defiling and abusing its status. Impunity, lawlessness is now the order of the day. Shadow government is the way to go in order to expose the failures and unconstitutionalities of the present APC. Shawore is a green snake and a subtle tribal by God. I'm telling you, that Shawore is what Undeyin said about him. I think it's actually true, that he's working undercover for Tinubu. Nayema Hemim Wema says, chaos and destabilized already. No lights, no water, no healthcare facilities, no access to education, economy, F9, unity, F9. Only in criminality, excellence. Now you are not saying that they should not create shadow government. They will create it. Ochonogo Emmanuel says, why is the federal government afraid? Was it not what they did to Rivers? I wonder. Beg. Aremolukman says, why is government afraid if you do well? Also, why is DSS suing Utomi? I don't know why. I don't even know DSS business. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.